Today we got a 1931 model AA for you guys. She's been sitting for at least 30, 32 years. She's got blinkers on her already. I believe she was parked sometime in the 90s. Someone converted her to 12 volt, little 4-cylinder in there. We are gonna put wheels and tires on this old girl and get her driving down the road. She does have the mechanical brakes. We'll get into that later. Interior's not too bad. I know the seat's been recovered. She's got the little 4-speed in her. And right here is your gas pedal. You can use this as your gas pedal, or down here on the floor there's one, and that's for you to rest your foot once you get the gas pedal set and you're just cruising down the road. That's your parking brake, and right here is your carburetor enricher. We'll go over all that once we get her running and start her up. We can't get the Kool-Aid cap off, and we can't get the old gas cap off. I'm sure someone left gas in it, parked it, and I don't think there's any Kool-Aid in it, which is good. We're gonna put some in there once we get her up and going, and we're gonna clean that gas tank out so we can use it. They're just gravity fed, no fuel pump. Someone did put a fuel filter in there and did an okay job, but not the best job. She has an aftermarket spark plug wire and an aftermarket 12 volt coil. She is not locked up, so I am sure she'll run, and if she don't, we got another motor we'll throw in her. Other than that, I think we need to check the oil in her and I guess start getting her to run. There ain't nothing to these old things. And I like this one better because it has the lower manifold instead of the one back there that had the manifold where you had to pull the manifold out to pull the condenser out of the coil. On this side, see what the oil looks like. Well, so we got oil, it's a little over full. Smells a little bit like gas, but it really smells more like old oil, so we should be good there. Trying to keep you guys in focus with the camera. Right there's our old aftermarket coil. We have a resistor here, which is always good. And this conduit, sheathing, whatever you want to call it, so I know someone's messed with it. And the wires in there are newer style, like these, instead of cloth wrapped wires, which is really good because them old cloth wrapped ones, the cloth comes off of them, then they short out and it's a mess. Other than that, there's a little 12 volt inline fuse there, so I'm pretty sure someone's converted that generator to an alternator. At least I hope they did. Underneath the floors where the battery goes, and let's see, I've already moved that a little bit, but underneath there's where the battery goes, and underneath the dash you can see someone's messed with the wires. We're gonna slap a battery on her here and see if she cranks with the starter. If not, we have a hand crank. The starter should work, and we'll see if we're getting fire and go from there. Went ahead and pulled the gas cap off there, and we got this bad boy out. There's no gas on it, no goo at least, because it wouldn't be gas anymore. And the tank doesn't look too bad. There's some surface rust in there, but nothing too bad. It still smells like old gas. I'm gonna say there's a little bit down in it, and it's probably down in this lower portion because the tank kind of sets like that because it's part of the dash and everything. Right here's your gas tank. But we're gonna hopefully not have a bunch of it in there and we can get it cleaned out. Hopefully it's still a liquid instead of being a somewhat solid. Gonna go ahead, throw that battery on there, make sure the starter works, and then we're gonna have to clean some points. I'm sure the points are just filthy because it's all covered in dirt. But floorboard comes out of here just like, well, I don't even know what that is right here. It's a car jack. It's too new to be for this. Let's see here. That just, there we go. Has a new newer battery cable on it, I should say. Now the question is it a negative ground? It shouldn't matter. It just depends on how they got the coil wired. We'll do a negative ground just because, instead of a positive ground. Battery tray's a little rusted out. Oh, this might not fit. Well then. There. Just took some doing. Come down to here and, well, that ain't much of a connection, but we'll go with it. We'll go with it. Same way with this, and it ain't much of a, well, actually I say this one's probably a little thicker on how it's hooked up. There. Now the starter button should be in this general vicinity. Woo! Starter works real good. Good Lord. It may not be a 12-volt system, because she spins this whole engine at around about 900 mile an hour. She works. I smell old gas in here because the gas tank's right there. We're gonna, well, parking brakes off. Gonna go ahead and start messing with the old cool and clean. I like how they have the spark plug wires that are not even insulated on these old things, because you can always just grab on to one of them, make sure you're getting spark. Well, that don't look bad. That don't look bad either. It's fairly clean. That is a reproduction one, I can tell you that. The cap's original, but this and that are reproductions. I think it still has the original set of points in it though. We'll know in a second. Pull that. That is an aftermarket set of points, but they are corroded. And yeah, they make a points file, but I'm just gonna tell you, I can't keep up with one to save my life. So we just go to sandpaper, because there's always some of it laying around. I'm gonna sit here for about 10 minutes and get these done. Got this all nice and clean, and just gonna throw her back on there, and we should be ready to get some fire to her. This might be one of the easier willet runs here that we've done on one of these old ones. Because this one actually looks like it, you know, would run, unlike some of them. Let's see here, throw that bad boy on there. Back on here and hope for the best. I'm hoping that cools good, but if not, we'll just throw the MSD on it, because that always seems to work. Glad they're using the bigger 7mm plug wire already. I got this piece of some sort of wire. We're just gonna run it through the floorboard or wherever, and well, maybe we can get it through there and hook it to the positive side and hook it up to the cool and go on about it and see what we get. We have to set this hood down. We got that hooked in there, and we'll hook it up to the battery. We're gonna hit her with some starting fluid to begin with, just to see if she's got a hit. And if she hits, well, then we'll just clean that gas tank out real quick, fill her up with some gas and a little bit of Marvel Mystery Oil, and let this will be one of them true cold starts, because it ain't been running forever and it's cold. It's like 23, I think, right now or something. There. Probably a little bit too much, but we'll figure that out in a second. Pull the choke and enricher, whatever you want to call it. You turn this to adjust the carburetor too, like that. Ooh. Come on. So we got this cool off of here. I say she's no good anymore. It was made in, I can't tell where it was made, but I doubt it was made in the US of A. That one probably ain't either, but we got her hooked up, and better put this back in there or we won't really get nowhere. There we go. Gotta make sure the points are actually sparking to theirself, because if not, she ain't gonna run. Yeah. Hopefully we can grab the belt and just kind of see here. There we go. They touch, but oh yeah, they get spark. Has a cool firing. Yep. Oh, there we go. Nope. Well, so we pulled old spark plug number 1 out, and that's why she ain't getting no fire. This old engine, I mean, that's a pretty rough set of spark plugs. We're gonna clean them up and she should fire right off after that. So I just went ahead and put them spark plugs in there, and also put some of this Lucas engine stop leak in there, not a whole lot. It's got a smoke, but this helps when you first start them up, lubricates the cylinders pretty good, and if you're running low compression when you first try to start it, this will help you build it because it's real thick and it sits around them rings and everything, and really helps old engines seal back up, and you can kind of break them back in and get the rings to come back to life. We're going to undo this fuel line because you can see there's fuel coming down to it. I poured some gas in there a few hours ago and let it set, and we're just going to see how nasty it is. I'm hoping when someone parked this they drain the fuel tank, but I doubt it. Most of the time when they say it ran when parked, it was just parked and forgot about it. This old girl's gonna start up. We got our adjustments done. Well, let me pull the choke here, but gotta hit the old starter there and make sure she's all the way retarded there. And this is your throttle, like I've said, but we shouldn't have to mess with that to start her, I don't think. Oh, there we go. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. She's a runner. There we go. Get that timing adjusted right. Get her running right. There we go. Let her warm up for a minute. There we go. Just like that. She runs pretty smooth. Honestly. She ain't smoking real bad. She got some smoke, but that's from all engine stopping. Kind of skipped a little bit. We went ahead and put it up on blocks and took the wheels off because it got a little bit too dark last night to film. We got a few of the wheels off, and as you can see, this is a front one and it is pretty rough. We're going to take it to the sandblaster anyway. It may be savable and just see what it looks like, and I may just go ahead and start welding on it before we take it off. This one's good and this one over here is good. We had to cut the tire off the wheel on the back, but I think everyone knows there's more than one way to skin a tire, and well, we're having to use a sawzall and every tool at our disposal so we don't mess up the bands because it's rusted in there. We finally got good in this one, I guess. There. Whew. We did a little test spot here on the hood to see if we could clean up the old paint, and as you can see, I mean, that looks 100 times better than the other side. You can compare the difference from here to here. About to put you guys on the camera stand and time lapse it out, and we're going to polish this whole thing to make her look brand new. Well, at least as close to brand new as we can. You guys are always asking to see them cleaned up, you know, so that's what we're going to do today. And the wheels, they've been off for a couple days and the tires have still not showed up. Not sure where they are. Tracking number says they've been in Texas, and they've been in Texas for too long. So who knows where they're at. Also, for everyone asking for restoration content, I'll give you guys a sneak peek of what's going to be coming hopefully next week. So this is going to be our restoration video. We're going to restore this old 40 model Ford. We're going to do a patina on the body, and the frame's just going to be like show car restored. It's all in primer now. We've sanded it down, and there's the other parts we have to get primered in the rear end. That's what we're about to do today before we start polishing on that one. And it's going to have a flathead V8 in it that we're going to fully rebuild here and show you just about everything we do to it. So for everyone that's been asking for that, hopefully next week. And we're going to do a patina on the body, like I said, and that'll be like part 2. And we may do 3 parts. It just depends on how long and how much content we have that's worth watching. So we got our wheels back from powder coat tonight. We got our tires in yesterday or the day before. We got our inner linings in, and we got our tubes in today. We're about to start putting the wheels together. I already put one together out here. I'll show you guys. This one went just easy as can be. You guys probably can't see it because it's like 8 o'clock at night. But she's together. We're going to get these together so tomorrow we can get her up and driving and get this YouTube video posted because we're running behind. Now we're going to throw that inner thing in there, and I'll just show you what we got to do, I guess. And the tires, tubes, and all this stuff's made by Coker Tire. I bought some of it through Jegs and some of it straight through Coker Tire. In case anyone's looking for a set of these wheels, or tires at least. This is the hardest part right here. Whew. There we go. Now you just gotta kind of work it back and forth till you get her where she needs to be. There. Now it's just a matter of pushing on this till you get it down. Just like that. So we about got one on here. We skipped a little bit because we had to fix it. We'll fix the other one, but it wouldn't go on, so we're using this one for now to see what we can get. She should be just about on there. Woo! That's what you want to hear. That one's on there now. Just like that. We'll put some air to her and see what we get. Then I'll do the rest of these. I ain't gonna bore you with doing 2 more tires. Never want to put any part over it you don't want to lose. 20. She didn't explode, luckily. So I went ahead and put the wheels on last night at like 8, 9 o'clock because I knew it was supposed to rain and snow today. So we're going to start her up and hopefully we'll be able to drive her out of the field and down the road because it's real wet in the field. We were going to just drive her in the field to see how good she did at first, but a little too rainy for that. So I guess we'll jump in here and hopefully she'll fire right up. I got to say, these wheels and tires look real good on this old truck. She sets up real nice and high, and I mean, makes the truck look 100 times better having wheels and tires on it. Already got the battery hooked up so we can just jump in here out of the rain, hopefully. So I got you guys on the head cam because, well, outside it's raining a little too hard to throw a camera out there at the moment. Hopefully she fires off. We ain't got the floorboard in here, so hopefully no carbon monoxide comes up through there. Let's go probably right about there, I'd say. Oh, that hit maybe. Come on. There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. We're gonna let her warm up for a minute. There we go. There we go, come on. It drives. I don't, woo! Let her warm up here. She ain't running right. Well, that's the problem. There's your problem. Let's see here. I think that's gas pouring out of the carburetor. Let's see. Yeah. If you guys can see, our carburetor may be shot. Turn the gas to there. We tore the carburetor off again, and I did rebuild it, put it back on, but there's something we didn't notice the first time around taking it off. Where the needle in the seat is, right in here, there's a crack, and that's why we're getting gas when we shouldn't be. The needle, seat, and float's working right, but it'll probably start leaking here in a second as soon as I turn the gas on to it. Maybe not. Please don't leak. I tried fixing it. I don't have another one that's the same. I tried the one off the Doodlebug, and it's just inside of it's all corroded, so it's not even usable. This really don't probably do any good, but yeah, I just made it leak more. But we're gonna try it this way again. I really hope she's gonna work so we can show you guys her driving. Guess I'll put you on the camera stand over there. We're gonna back up and just move it a little bit so you guys can see it's driving. So we got the old truck up running and driving after, you know, 31 years or 30 years around there. She runs real good for about a 100-year-old truck. You will see a video next week of us driving it down the road, you know, because that carburetor has a crack in it and I don't have another one to fix it. So we'll get that in hopefully this week and have you guys a video of it driving down the road next week. We haven't posted a video in a long time, so we're going to throw this up for you guys tonight. Thank you guys for watching, and please consider hitting that subscribe button and maybe leaving a like, because we got a lot more stuff like this coming. And sorry it took so long to get this video, but next week you'll see another Will It Run, and hopefully, well, you will see another Will It Run, a video on this truck, and maybe the next week you'll see a restoration video on a truck. Thank you guys for watching.